Hey girlfriends. A while back, a friend of mine was going through a custody case and asked me who I hated the most as a lawyer in my area. And I had a quick and easy answer. I'm not going to share it because that would be unprofessional, but I had a very quick, very emphatic answer. And surprise, surprise, she turned around and hired that person. And now I could have told her that was a mistake. I think I did tell her it was a mistake when I told her that this was my literal least favorite attorney in my area. But she was feeling desperate. She had been going through this custody case for a while with her child's father. Her child's father had a, bulldog of an attorney too, who just was like steamrolling her, and she felt like she really needed someone in her corner to advocate for her. And at the time, they had a proposed agreement on the table, and she wanted to hire someone else to try to negotiate this on her behalf. And she hired my nemesis. And I told her it was, I didn't realize she was actually going to hire this person. I thought we were just like having a conversation, but she hired this person. And it was a bit of a disaster. Her attorney and his attorney really, really hated each other. We do get questions all the time, from people like, is it a problem that my attorneys are friends? Is it a problem that our attorneys seem to be enemies? And I always try to say, well, in general, obviously family law attorneys in our area, all the family law attorneys were relatively, or maybe a medium-sized community, but we tend to know each other, know of each other. We have a lot of cases together over the years, and in many cases, we make friendships, even with the attorneys who are not necessarily in our firm. And I don't think it's a problem to be too friendly with opposing counsel. In a lot of ways, that's how things get done, and it's just a reality of working in this community of people. What is a problem, though, I think, is when attorneys are enemies, like they were in this case. And honestly, I think that these two attorneys in this particular case spent more time and energy fighting each other just, for kicks than they did actually fighting for their clients. And a year and a half or more later, when all was said and done, I think my friend had spent something like $80,000, and the final agreement that they entered in the case was almost exactly the same as when the attorney originally got involved. So I would just say, everybody's tempted to find a bulldog attorney, but I don't think they're necessarily looking out for the client's best interest. In a lot of cases, there's a relatively narrow range of potential outcomes. So you kind of want to get to that endpoint as soon as possible, and then you spend your time and energy finessing the finer points, especially where custody is concerned. Address the particular areas of concern that you have, but don't just spend tens of thousands of dollars fighting over what's going to happen eventually anyway. If you get good, realistic, reasonable advice on the front end, not only will you save all the time, the energy, the blood pressure points, but you'll also save a lot of money. So do a lot of research and make sure that you're hiring the right attorney to be on your side.